recording couldn't be recording has started. Okay, good. So good afternoon, everyone. This is me again, Dr. Samah, and this is our fourth meeting, our fourth official meeting, because we have other meetings on the fringe. I remember that we meet almost every week, perhaps twice on the Writing Center. We also have extra classes. So I'm hopeful that would be enough for everybody, I mean, to understand and process the information that we give. Okay, so what is it that we have today? It's the writing section. And whether we do the writing section in the theme concern or not, I mean, we do other writing in other places, as you know. So normally the end of our theme would be the reading part, and then we do the writing, whether the writing of the theme or any other writing for that matter, in the Writing Center and in the extra classes, where we have more space and more freedom to even try our hands with other types of writing and everything. So by not doing the writing part of the theme, we're trying to give ourselves the freedom to experiment with different types of writing and not to restrict ourselves to a specific type of writing. We're dealing with writing as a process. We're dealing with writing also as a journey that takes us on different steps and stops. When we talk about writing, of course, we talk about the different types of writing in terms of format, whether you're writing a paragraph or an essay. And we made this distinction between the two the other day. And then we move on to what type of essay, if we decide that it is an essay that we are in for. We determine the type of the essay based on the purpose. Why you're writing? Are you describing? Are you narrating, recounting an experience? Are you reflecting on something? Are you trying to persuade somebody to do something or not to do something for that matter? Are you trying to explain a manual perhaps to somebody? But this is expository and explain. So depending on what purpose you have in mind, you would choose the right type of essay: descriptive, narrative, persuasive, or expository, where you explain stuff. We're focused, and we've been focused and focusing over the past few weeks on the descriptive type of essay, remember? If you have attended any of the writing classes that we have had over the past 2 weeks, you would know what descriptive writing is. And even if you cannot attend live, you can always have the recordings on the end. And I make sure that after every and each writing class, I post them, or I post the link on the LMS in a place that your eyes cannot miss. I'm hopeful that your eyes haven't missed any of the 4 writing classes that we have given so far in the Writing Center. So have your eyes missed them? Did you have the opportunity to go to the LMS and check the writing recordings that we have over there? I'm asking you now. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
What's
I
wrong?
hear you.
Yeah, you hear me, and that wouldn't be enough, whoever is speaking.
Rehan
Because
speaking.
Riham,
Yeah.
did you check the writing recordings that I left on the LMS?
No, I will. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
None of you? Then I'm normally
We didn't check because we're busy.
Well, I'm busy doing what? If you're not busy with English, you're busy with what
doing
else?
another subjects.
Yeah, what other subjects that are more important than English?
All the subjects are important. All of them.
Important
Yeah, all of
English.
them, even English, right?
Yeah.
And let me
We're
say
trying
that
to manage the time.
yes,
Manage our time to
yeah.
do
Then
everything.
I'll tell you why. What's your name? Amjad, right?
Amjad. Yeah.
Then unless you look at them, it would be a sheer waste of time. I'm wasting my time. Obviously, if I call for writing center meetings and you don't attend, and if I post the links on the LMS and you don't listen or watch them, obviously I'm wasting my time. Well,
Yeah. So I will
yeah,
check on the LMS.
yeah,
I
you're
was
wasting your
checking on the
time.
LMS.
Yes, you are wasting your time, big time. Anyway, طيب, again, I'm yeah, go ahead.
معلش سؤال.
If it's procedural, لو سؤال إجرائي لا يعني خليه لآخر آخر
سؤال
الحلقة.
عن الشعبة، لأنه أنا جاية من شعبة ثانية.
أهلا بيكي.
أنا شعبتي 1304.
كويس.
بس لما دخلت المفروض في كلاس الحين، لما دخلت ما حد قبلني فطلعت ودخلت معاكم.
أهلا بيكي. عاوزة تكملي معانا ولا عاوزة تروحي على كلاسك؟
صراحة يعني أنا ما حسيت معاي يعني لأنه الشرح يعني أنا حضرت معك كلاس قبل وكمل معك يعني مو مشكلة.
طيب يا شهد، أنت شهد؟ أهلا بيكي يا شهد.
اختباراتي مو نفس الشعبة، أنا يعني اختبار اليوم، أنتوا شعبتكم اختباركم بكرة.
بالضبط. ما فيش مشكلة يا شهد. If you're شهد, yes. You don't have a problem يا شهد. And I can. What's the name of your tutor? المدرس أو المدرسة اسمها إيه؟
دقيقة دكتور.
ماشي. طيب دوري وقولي لنا عشان احنا يعني مضطرين.
طيب ابدأ وأنا أول ما أطلعها برفع يدي.
أهلا بيك. أوكي. طيب. So again, I was talking about writing and how important writing is, and this is actually what you're going to take out of this course. It's not the vocab, because most of the vocab you're already familiar with. It's not the grammar.
Doctor, I have a question.
No, not now يا جماعة. انتوا عارفين معادتي يعني. Don't interrupt me in the middle of a speech that I'm making. صح؟ لأن interruption is disruptive for others. But let's finish first, and then I'll give you all the time there is to ask questions, to fight with us. Okay, just wait and. طيب, again, كل ما أقول حاجة يعني يحصل حاجة. Okay, so as I'm saying, today we're doing writing, and writing, as I said, is very important because this is the one single thing that you'll take out of this course. It's not the vocab, because you already have vocab items, mashallah, very rich in range of vocabulary that I congratulate you on. It's not the listening, because we listen whether we like it or not. I sent you video material that you listen to and watch, and now you're engaged in a very interesting translation project, which would require a lot of listening. Okay, so it's not speaking, because mashallah you speak very well. It's writing that we need to develop our skills in. Okay, so Shahd, go ahead.
اسمها
Arish, Miss Arish. طيب, I'll talk to Miss Arish and you don't have a problem إن شاء الله.
أي لأني دخلت الحين المفروض كلاسها وهي ما حضرت أتوقع.
لا ما أكيد حضرت, بس أنت ممكن معك اللينك غلط ولا حاجة. ولا خلاص, عموما أنت معنا شاهد, ف you don't have to worry. بالتوفيق إن شاء الله. طيب. Okay. So descriptive writing that we're having. And I'm going to share what I have. Yes. Yes. So can you see that? Hello.
Yes.
Can you read it out loud? Can you read what is written over there?
Descriptive writing.
Absolutely, descriptive writing. So it's writing, and it is what kind of writing? It is descriptive writing. So writing means that you're going to write. You're not going to speak. You're not going to listen. Okay? So writing is about writing. You either type using the keyboard or you write using your own hands. Okay, so what is it that you're going to write? In terms of format, you would choose whether to write a paragraph, one single paragraph, or an essay, a number of paragraphs. That would depend on how big your idea is. You have ideas that are not big enough, they're not significant enough, and they would only need a paragraph. And you have ideas that are big and significant enough that would need more than one paragraph. And if you are going to write in more than one paragraph, so you are going to use the essay format. This semester we're focusing on the essay format. So we are going to use the essay. This is a starter. And the second thing would be to choose what type of writing we will do. Are we going to describe? Are we going to narrate? Narrate means to tell a story or to recount an experience. Are we going to reflect on something that we have seen or watched or perhaps experienced? Or are we going to explain something to somebody? Or are we going to try to persuade and convince somebody of something, start an argument? So these are different types of writing. And I said that you choose the type of writing based on your purpose. Excuse me. So we're doing descriptive writing and descriptive essays. Descriptive essays are all about description. With descriptive essays and descriptive writing in general, you have a great deal of adjectives. Of course, you're familiar with adjectives as part of speech. When I say long or short and big or small, beautiful or ugly, interesting or boring, beautiful or otherwise, these are all adjectives. And it's not adjectives, or it's not only adjectives that we're using in description. We also use adverbs. And adverbs normally describe behaviors and actions, right? When you say that Ali did something professionally, so professionally is obviously an adverb. When you say that somebody was walking slowly, so I'm not describing him, I'm describing the way he walked. When I say that somebody behaved rudely, so I'm not saying that the person is rude, I'm saying that the behavior or the action was rude. So again, descriptive writing and descriptive essays are all about describing, and the part or the parts of speech that would carry this kind of description would be the adjectives and the adverbs, among other things, of course. Okay, So when people engage in description, in writing descriptive essays, so what is it that they describe? They sometimes describe people. They sometimes describe places. They sometimes describe animals, events, right? Emotions that they have or have for others, or expressing their own emotions even. Okay, so you describe people, animals, places, events, emotions. Okay, so if you describe a person, for example, this person can be a favorite person, can be your best friend, your favorite teacher, you can be even your enemy, somebody that you admire, somebody who is near and dear to your heart, like your mother, your father, your grandfather, mother, a family member, a favorite brother or sister, somebody from the community that you idealize or look up for, somebody that you find inspiring. So these are occasions, and those are people that you can. These are situations and people that you can describe. And we have an example. Can you see this? I'm not going to say whether it's an essay or a paragraph, and I would like you to tell me whether it is an essay or a paragraph. From the look of it, I don't want you to read yet. Just look at it from afar and tell me whether you think this is an essay or a paragraph. Go ahead.
Paragraph.
It's essay.
It's
Paragraph.
an essay.
It's essay.
Yeah, because can't you see the divisions and the gaps?
Yeah, but it's about one person.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Yes, because the fourth part.
Yeah, it's like, what's your name?
Salim.
Salim. It's like Salim is saying we have 4 different parts, right?
Yes.
So that would qualify it as an essay. Of course, we can agree or disagree on the length and whether there is consistency when it comes to the size of every and each paragraph, but it is still an essay because it is divided into a number of paragraphs. So one way of determining whether a piece of writing is an essay or a paragraph is to look at it from afar and to see whether it is divided into sections or not. And what do we call those sections? We call them paragraphs. I can see from here that it is divided into parts or sections, like Salim said, right? So we're going to call these sections or parts paragraphs. So you end up having how many paragraphs?
4.
4.
4 parts, 4 paragraphs, right? Okay. Another measure of whether what we are seeing is a paragraph or an essay would be to read the piece of writing and then to see whether we have one idea or a number of ideas. Perhaps we have an idea, but it is divided into sub-ideas. Okay, so read. We have established the fact that it is an essay. I would like you to read the essay and perhaps take down notes. Tell me what we have in the first paragraph, what we have in the middle, and what we have in the end. Can we do that? Go ahead. I'll give you 3 minutes for that to read the essay, and then you come up with ideas about the essay. Okay, everyone?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ideas like what?
What?
Idea like what?
Just read it, and I'm sure you'll come up with the ideas that I'm asking, that you don't know, and that I'm not answering you about. What's your name?
Amal.
Amal. يلا Amal, read.
Okay.
Doctor, can you make the screen full of the paragraph?
Yeah, let me check how I can do that. Is it bigger now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yes, it's clear now. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, good.
Done, Doctor.
Okay, good. طيب. Okay, so can we call it an essay? Can we safely say that it is an essay?
Yes, it is.
It is. Why?
Yes.
A lot of description. He's talking
Yeah.
about his grandfather.
So we have one big idea, which is the fact that the essay is about the grandfather.
Yeah.
And then we have sub ideas, right? So the main idea would be the grandfather. Can we say that the first paragraph is an introduction?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's an introduction
Mm.
where we do what in an introduction?
Introduce the person.
Grandfather.
Yeah, no,
And
we introduce the idea or the topic, right?
yes.
Did we have that? Did the writer introduce? Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
So from the introduction, you got to know that the idea or the main idea is the grandfather, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in order to introduce the idea, you need to be interesting. You need to be an attention grabber. You grab the attention of your reader. Do you think the writer succeeded in doing that?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Okay, to some extent, because the introduction is a little bit short, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, right. So our attention got grabbed or attracted, and we got to know that the topic is the grandfather. Okay, so if the topic is the grandfather, so do you expect, not expect because you have already read the essay. I'm talking on, and yani, perhaps I'm appealing to your sense of logic. And it's expectations that you perhaps made before you read the rest of the paragraphs, and you try to see whether those expectations were met or not. What were the expectations? The expectations is, if the topic is grandfather, I expect, logically enough, the rest of the paragraphs to be about the grandfather. So did we have that?
Yes,
Yes.
we have it.
Yes, we had that.
Yes.
How? Yeah, how? This is the big question that would be, I can talk about my grandfather, right? You can talk about your grandfather. Yeah, the writer here is talking about his grandfather, but every one of us is going to talk about our grandfathers in different ways, right? So the real achievement or accomplishment would be to be different in talking about your grandfather, right? Is about being convincing and being appealing and interesting and engaging. So again, we can all talk about our grandfathers, but let's say Amal's essay would be more interesting than my essay, because Amal knows how to use adjectives, how to manipulate the language and stuff. Okay, fine. So what did you like about this essay? Is it the sense of organization that we have? Is it about the grandfather and the so many beautiful things about him that the writer wrote and mentioned? So
Yes.
what is it that you liked about the essay? And I'll tell you what I liked, and I'm hopeful that lots of people are going to agree with me, but I'm not going to say this yet. I need to listen to what you have to say. So what is it that you liked about the rest of the essay? The two paragraphs and the conclusion.
The grandpa's personality.
I'm talking about the organization. I'm not talking about the grandfather himself, right? I'm talking about how the grandfather was introduced or presented to us. What was their logic in presenting? Was their organization تنظيم معين that you felt?
Yes, he looks young because he's
No, I'm not. Yeah, don't get me wrong. What's your name? Salim?
yes,
Salim, I'm not talking about the grandfather, and I'm talking about how the grandfather father is presented to us. You have two paragraphs in the middle. The second, give me a label for the second paragraph, and give me a label or a
He
name
is
for the.
sensitive and emotional.
No, I'm not talking, يا جماعة, about the grandfather. I'm
There's
talking about the how. I'm not talking about the content.
You're talking about the essay?
Yes.
also the writer, right?
طيب. Give me a title for the second. يعني if you're taking down notes, okay, and you, I'm sure you take down notes. So how would you describe the second paragraph? And then after you finish, how would you describe the third paragraph? So the two of them are this.
like personality.
You mean the third one, or you mean yes? It depends on yes. The second one in the body paragraphs, we have two body paragraphs, right? The second paragraph, like what's your name?
Riham.
Riham. Like Riham is saying, the second paragraph is about the qualities or the personality of the grandfather. When we say that he is sensitive, right? When we talk about that he is generous, what he does, right?
Personality?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
How about the first paragraph? It's about what? Is it also about personality?
No.
No. It's about what?
No.
How is looking?
Excellent. It's physical description that we're having, right? When he says that his face is round and he looks friendly looking, right? He wears casual clothes, right? He has this youthful appearance. He has gray hair. It's all physical description. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So the writer started the introduction by being very general, talking in general terms about his grandfather, right? And the fact that his grandfather influenced him in more ways than one, right? And then in the second paragraph, he started to specify, right? He gives us specifics and details about his grandfather. But instead of putting everything in one long paragraph, he divided the ideas into two small paragraphs, where the first paragraph has physical appearance and some facts about his grandfather, the fact that he's in early 70s, the fact that he's medium height, the fact that his name is Jack. And then he moved to the second paragraph where he gave us the qualities and the personality traits of this grandfather, right? What do you think of this organization? Do you like it or not?
For me, I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very well organized.
It's a clever way.
Yes, we
Just
say.
give us short things and to make it more and longer.
Yes, absolutely, Ariane. Okay, interesting. This is how essays should look like. You start off being general. You start off being interesting and attention grabbing. You start off by introducing the topic, and then you specify in an organized way. You divide your work into paragraphs. Okay, you don't put your work, all your work in one single paragraph and you say this is the body and that's it. No. Okay, so it can be the same idea, but it can be subdivided into small, nice, little nuggets and chunks that we can swallow in one go, right? And then, of course, we have the conclusion. Again, the conclusion is general again. Okay, so you start off very general, and then you specify, and then you end up general one more time. Okay? If you compare the conclusion to the introduction, you're going to find them similar. Why? Why is that? The conclusion is this place where you are leaving. You're seeing off your reader. And you're trying to make sure that you have left the right impression. Okay? Your reader has read a lot, and your reader is like any human being, has this tendency to forget. So you're trying to make sure that your reader does not forget by perhaps repeating what you said in the introduction, but in a different way. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
It's
You see how beautiful writing is? That's easy, but it's just it takes some organization and some thoughtfulness. People have to think about what they write before they write. Okay?
It is so easy.
Inshallah. Right. So before we leave this leave this part, I would like you to choose somebody. Remember, you can be describing a friend, a teacher, an enemy, somebody you love and cherish, your mother, your father, your family, one of your siblings, somebody that you look up to, somebody from the local community or internationally even that inspires you. I would like you now to look at this list and tell me that next time or perhaps on the group, I'll send you what I wrote about one of them. So you have the list and I would like you to choose. Go ahead. So you're going to write an essay about whom?
Can I write about my pet?
Your pet. Yes,
Yeah.
but okay, that's fine. Your pet is what, a
Really?
dog or a parrot or a... You're going to write a cat. And that's does he or she have a name?
Yes, Georgie.
Me? Me? What's his?
Georgie.
Georgie?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it beside
you? Can I write
you?
about her?
Yeah. Can she talk to us or something? Yes, of course you can. What's your name? But you're not going to talk. Perhaps So sometimes they say that, and I don't mean any offense here. Sometimes they say that animals behave like human beings, and they have the qualities of human beings. If you're going to deal with that from this aspect or perspective, that would be good. What's your name?
Amjad.
Amjad. So Amjad is going to talk about Georgie, whatever that means. Okay. Can we have other people? You have a whole list that you can choose from?
Yes, doctor. I think
Yes.
I will talk
Okay.
about my favorite brother.
Your favorite brother. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to tell the others, by the way. Okay. What's your name? Rihan? Okay, Rihan. Yeah. Who else?
Yes, Mehdi, I will write about my best friend,
Yeah, your best friend. What's your name?
Salam.
Salim.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Me too.
Yes. For me, I want to write about my brother.
Okay,
Because I
your
have
brother.
just one brother.
Nice, interesting. Anybody else?
Yes.
Me, I'm gonna write about my friend.
Your friend, okay.
Yes, I'm going to write about my mother.
That's interesting. What's your name?
Mustafa.
Mustafa. Mustafa Bayumi, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mustafa.
For me, I'm gonna write about my roommate.
Your roommate. Okay, that's interesting too. That's interesting. One more contribution. Somebody that would like to perhaps write about
I
me.
will write about my father.
Your father. That's interesting. Okay. So you're not going to take any marks. Nobody even flattered me and said, like, listen, Dr. Samham, I'm going to write about you, your favorite teacher. Okay.
You deserve it.
You will all fail. I promise you.
No, I'll describe my favorite teacher.
Me too, I will.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's move somewhere else. Okay. So you can be describing an event, remember? Remember what we did in theme 1? We were talking about events, festivals, right?
Yes,
you can also talk or write about events. So you talk about what kind of event it is or was. You talk about the people involved in the event, they serve or provide food, the place where the event takes place, the time of the day, and whether takes place on a number of days or only one single day. It's typical. Remember when we spoke about festivals, right?
Yes.
Yes. This is also description where you would need to have a bag of adjectives and adverbs. And this is an event. Are you familiar with bungee jumping?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let's read this and see how it is described. Can we do that? Yes, we can.
Inshallah. Yes.
Okay, you guys have 3 minutes. Go ahead. When you have finished, please give me a signal, say something.
Okay.
Dr. Salma,
Yes.
this is so disappointed. I want to do bungee jumping, but then I realized they measuring the weight, so they have a specific weight for this.
No, the reason why he took measures was that the guy felt nervous in front of his eyes. But he wanted to make sure, I mean, otherwise, if.
Okay, he just do this for.
Yes, but they don't normally do it. Otherwise, nobody would go there and do it, right? If they have rigid rules, they wouldn't. They will become out of business soon, right?
No, but actually, I read it and I feel my heart is hardly beating.
Yeah, you know, you even see how captivating the description is.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is what successful descriptive essays are all about. Is about capturing the moment and making you live it as if you were there doing the thing yourself.
Inshallah, we reach this level with you.
Inshallah, you guys are up to it. Yeah, I'm amazed at how beautiful your English is, mashallah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, are we done, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Yes, done.
Okay, so I'll ask you the usual question whether this is an essay or a paragraph and why.
Essay.
It's an essay. For obvious reasons now, because of what? Or because there is what?
4 paragraphs.
Yeah, it's divided into clear paragraphs, right? Okay. So let me ask you the other question. What kind of writing or what kind of essay is it? I'll give you choices.
Writing.
Narrative, descriptive, reflective, persuasive. What do you think? Descriptive. Where you have what? What makes you believe it's descriptive, everyone?
He describes the experience of bungee jumping.
Yeah, okay. So he describes that, and in order to capture that, he has to use lots of adjectives, right? Lots of adverbs. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, I agree with him.
okay. No. It's not saying. It's not saying anything that that we should agree with. I mean, is we're giving our impressions about what this writing is about. Okay, type. So is it the same pattern? We start off general and then we specify and then we go general again, right? Remember the essay on the grandfather. With the essay on the grandfather, we started off general and then we specified and then we went to general again. Do we have the same pattern?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what we have in the introduction, typically an introduction should have an attention grabber, something that attracts our attention, and it should also have the topic or a statement of the topic, right? So do you have an attention grabber, something that grabbed your attention in the first paragraph in the introduction? Hello.
Yes, it's.
Yes.
In this sentence, I went to a secret spot.
Yeah, this idea of secrecy. I mean, people. Normally, when you talk about secrets, people's
Everybody
attention.
get attention. Yes.
Yes. And he completed the idea by saying that I found. Okay, so secret and I found, right? And you would ask or wait to see what he found. He found the perfect thing to do, which is what? Which is bungee jump. You see how suspenseful he is. He puts you on in a cliffhanging situation. You keep asking, secret spot. Found. What is it that he found? Perfect thing. What is this perfect thing? Bungee jumping. So it is so attention grabbing. Okay. And then he provides the background, the fact that he hasn't done before, and then the fact that when he did it, it was a sensational experience, right? So what do you expect the rest of the paragraphs to be about? Of course, it's going to be about what? The bungee jumping experience.
Bungee jumping.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously he's not going to tell us what bungee jumping is because he knows that we know what bungee jumping is. Yeah. Right? He is describing the experience itself. Right? Isn't that what you found when you read the rest of it? Yes. Yes. Okay. Do we have this organization that I was talking about in the grandfather essay? Is it as clear? I'm asking you.
Yes, clear, doctor.
Yes, but it's not as clear as the grandfather because the grandfather's essay was perhaps smaller, and the you can almost tell yes. But this one, it seems that he's talking about everything, but he knows that he cannot write everything in one paragraph. That's why he is dividing the effort over 2 paragraphs, right? Hello?
Yeah, right.
Yes. It's as if he's telling us the story from the beginning. And of course, because it's a story, the story of the experience, he makes sure that he divides it into 2 paragraphs so that we don't get confused with the steps. We don't get bored, right? I mean, our eyes wouldn't be strained if we have a whole block, right? And he used also signal words or transition words that would help us move from one stage to another. When he says first, right? Do we have first? Then, finally, right? When he used when I did that, that happened. Then, so these are all last but not least, which is an indication that he finished a part of what he did, right? Okay, interesting. And then we have the conclusion. So what we have in the conclusion, it's a wrap up of the whole thing, assessing the whole experience, right? And using, superlative when saying that this was the greatest feeling that I have ever had, right? But it's very interesting, right? Bungee jumping.
Yes, true.
Okay. To the extent that I am sure that lots of us would like to go through the experience, like Rehan said, she would welcome the opportunity. Yes. Nice. Good. Okay. So this was describing an event, and before it, there was this description of a person. And now we're moving to describing a place. So what are some of the places that we may describe? You may describe a place that you have visited in the summer, your grandmom's or granddad's farmhouse, your hometown, and by hometown it can be a whole country, it can be a city or a town. It can be your favorite village or your village. It can be a vacation destination that you love and favor. Can be a tourist spot, can be a museum, can be a house that you would dream of having in one day, at one point in your career, in your life. Can be a fancy place that you have created in your mind or you have visited. Can be a mall, Malls are closed now. Okay. Can be a university. You can be describing your university or perhaps another university. Okay, so if you have to choose a place, which place are you going to choose to write about, to write a descriptive essay about? What do you think?
Your dream house seems good.
What? The what?
Your dream house seems
good. Yes, you would write about your dream house. What's your name?
Yeah. I am Marwan.
Marwan. Marwan would write about his dream house. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Who else?
I would choose the place I have visited in the summer.
Yeah. Do you still remember this place that you visited in the summer?
Yes, I do.
Oh, where did you go?
I went to resorts in Jeddah. It's called Indigo.
Indigo, yes. Are you from Jeddah originally? I mean, are you from here?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. What's your name?
Abdurrahman Haddad.
Abdurrahman Haddad. Okay, can we have somebody else?
Yes, I will take describe your favorite vacation destination.
Okay, and what is your favorite vacation destination, Riham?
Disneyland.
Disneyland in Florida? Is it in Florida or in Los Angeles?
Actually, I'm thinking about the one in Paris.
And Paris. Paris is nearer, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. So, inshallah. Who else and where else?
Me, I want to write about abandoned places. I think it is interesting thing.
What's the place again?
Abandoned places.
Abandoned. Something that I'm not familiar with.
الأماكن يعني اللي تكون مهجورة أو القديمة.
Abandoned. Okay. What's your name?
داليا منصور.
Mansoor. Okay, that's a very nice choice, by the way. I know they have this appeal. These places are, especially if they are monumental in the sense that they are thousands of years old, right? Like ancient Egyptian monuments, مثلا, the pyramids and صح كده? In Jordan they have Petra. It's an area where they have lots of very beautiful monuments. Here in Saudi Arabia, كان فين مدائن صالح, very beautiful places, right? Okay. Interesting. Right. So let's read this very quickly. This is a model or an example of a descriptive essay that would describe a place. Go ahead. You guys have 3 minutes. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah, done.
Okay. Essay or a paragraph?
It's a paragraph.
No, of course not.
Well, it's AC because
AC.
it had many paragraphs.
Okay. Interesting essay.
Yeah, sure.
So what type of essay? Narrative, descriptive, persuasive, argumentative, reflective, expository? What do you think?
Descriptive.
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 Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yes. Lots of description. So where are we? It's a place, right? Where is that place? In the Philippines, right? Did you get that? Manila is recognizable. It's the Philippines.
Yeah, Manila
right?
and Philippines.
So obviously we're not in Manila, right? We're in a place called what? Cebu. Right? Cebu, the province of Cebu. Those who have gone to Manila know about that, or gone to the Philippines rather, would know where Cebu is, right? It's a coastal city, I think. Okay, good. Amazing description, if you ask me, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'll stop on this note and with this item, and I'll continue the efforts tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. How about that? Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, yes.
Right.
No problem.
Okay, so I'll see you inshallah tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Take
Doctor.
care. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor. Bye.
Bye-bye.